if this isn't the spitting definition of a beady-eyed troll. I mean, look at that. Evil fucking... I mean, this is a sociopath. This isn't some kind of a... I mean, she has issues. I mean, just look at her eyes. I mean, look at the expression in her eyes. I mean, it looks like a fucking satanic sociopath. Okay, so let's do what I like to do, and I want you to actually hear it. Hear the tone in her voice. Because, you know, I think that says a lot. I do. I think, you know, that alone... And I'm going to play it from a local press thing that they put on, so it might take me a second to find it, but I'm just warning you right now. It is fucking nails on shot. It is so annoying. Her voice alone is so annoying. It's hard to listen to, so you might want to turn down the volume.
Kidnapper children now convicted.
This week, my children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
31-year-old Katie Sorensen.
And the way she says it just isn't... I mean, the way she says it isn't at all believable.
And I want to share that story with you in an effort to raise awareness as to what signs to look for.
Emotionless. Okay. Let me just replay it. Okay, because it really is. It's emotionless, and it's almost like she's in an advertisement for a dress, and she's like, "Hey, look how pretty this dress is. You know, I like this dress. You know that's what she." If you did not know English, okay, just think about this for a minute. If you did not know English, since that's the language she's speaking, you would think that this is not about her children making up a fake story about her children getting kidnapped or attempted kidnap. Instead, you would think that it's an advertisement for, like, I don't know, a dress or the little cap she's got on or something. Seriously, if you would think it's an advertisement, not a concerned mother, but an advertisement. Let's replay it. Let me find the right.
Monday of this week, my children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
So, you know, Monday, you know, my children were like the targets of this attempted kidnap. I mean, who fucking talks like that if it's real? If let me just play it one more time. I mean, seriously, let's play it one more time.
My children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
31-year-old Katie Sorensen, a mom and motherhood advice that was viewed more than 4 million times.
With you in an effort to raise awareness as to what signs to look for.
To raise awareness as to what signs to look for. I mean, really, that's what it is to me. Let's listen to that again. Listen to that part again.
Million times.
And I want to share that story with you in an effort to raise awareness as
to raise awareness.
Falsely claiming that strangers young children on
I mean,
7, 2020,
that's what I hear when I hear it.
California Michael store. The Sonoma County DA's office.
No one cares about the Sonoma County DA's office. Shut up. That's what I hear. When I hear her talk, that is exactly what I hear. I mean, that's really. You might as well hear that because that's her emotion behind it.
Did not lie to police.
She misperceived and misunderstood a series of
her lawyer saying she didn't lie to police. Yeah, right.
Sorensen's attorney maintains his
events which were.
We don't care about the attorney.
It was when Sorensen reviewed the evidence that she realized she was wrong.
I don't think she had any understanding and the impact it would
Okay,
cause.
well, it's not showing anything else about her. Okay.
Attempted kidnap.
But, you know, whatever. Can be kidnapped. I mean, that is what you hear. Attempted kidnap. I mean, that's what I hear. And it's in such a tone of voice that it's like, you want to buy this dress? Okay? You know, like, so why would it, why, if you're literally croaking and hissing while you're saying, do you want to buy this dress? I mean, why would you believe anything that someone says when they're like croaking and hissing as they talk? And by the way, they sound happy about it. They sound like they're trying to sell you something. She does. She sounds like she's trying to sell something. If my child, I don't have a child, but just say I did. If my child, hypothetically, got attempted kidnap, I wouldn't be out there going, you know, with the attitude of, you know, okay, my child just got, you know, attempted kidnap. Would you like to have an attempted kidnap? You know, like, it's a good thing. I would like have with the emotion of like, shit, this sucks. Like, people are evil. Like, fuck humanity. Like, fuck my neighbors. You know, I would be pissed, right? I wouldn't act like I was selling someone something. Why is she acting like that? Because she's a fucking, you know, troll that needs attention desperately. And she wasn't getting enough views on her fucking channel, apparently. So she created a false story. And that's why she sounds like she's trying to sell you something. Because she wants you to pay attention to her. It's just the spitting image of, look at me over here, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, only me. Okay, that's what that is. Look at me. I mean, really, she's yelling at you, screaming at you behind her eyes to look at her. And if she would say everything that's in her brain, that's what would come out her mouth. Would be just look at me, look at me, look at me, listen to me, pay attention to me. That's the only thing that would come out of her mouth. I really wish that people were more in tune with stuff like this. Because then no one would fucking care. No one would pay attention to her. Apparently, it you know, eventually caught the attention of authorities. And, you know, if people would just have some setback, have some common sense, and realize the demeanor is not correct. I don't even care. Not even for someone on drugs. The demeanor is not correct. No one acts like that. No one. If it actually happened, and it really did happen, no one acts like that. So, why you take her seriously? By the way, she's not even saying that they actually kidnapped them. She's saying attempted kidnap. So, like, you know, I mean, what could the authorities do in that situation anyway if nothing actually happened? They can't. So, legally, they wouldn't be able to do anything anyway. Why does the media believe her? Why does anyone watching her channel believe? You know that this is a sad thing? People like this to say stuff like, I have cancer and all that. And again, it'll be like an advertisement, okay? Instead of, you know, or it'll be like fake crying. Okay, they do that too. And it's so fucking fake. And it's so easy to see. And you would think that the whole world would not be blind to the truth. And that's why I have to point this shit out, because apparently, and try to teach people how to see it and how to look for it, because apparently that doesn't come naturally to everyone. Apparently, most people believe stuff like that. When people say stuff like that in that kind of tone of voice, people, really dumb people, a ton of dumb people, believe it. And, you know, maybe it's because I've been abused, and maybe that's because, you know, I don't trust anyone. Just naturally, you know, I've never trusted any words anyone says. I don't really pay that much attention to the words people say. I pay more attention to their tone of voice, their actions, you know, their overall kind of just vibe. And above all, I pay attention to, you know, also the look in their eyes. Really, really good actors. Like, I don't mean necessarily famous, I just mean people who are really good at acting and manipulating and tricking people. Okay, people who are really convincing actors, quote actors, Doesn't mean they're doing it for the job, but people who are really good at faking emotion, they might be able to fake, their tone of voice and that sort of thing. And even their body posture and that sort of thing, their facial expressions. But if you look directly into their irises, you cannot fake the truth. The truth always comes out in the eyes. Always. And I'd argue there's always something else too, that something else that they don't get perfect. But if anything, the eyes are going to tell you more than anything. They're like, usually in their eyes, they don't even have to say anything. You can just tell their baseline intentions, whether or not they tend to be trustworthy, just by the look in their eyes. People have this look, okay? And I've known that look really fucking well over the years. Because people who are good, honest people have a completely different look. And when you've been abused like I have, you start to pick up on that difference. You can't trust people. Even if they do something nice, you can't trust the true intent of their actions. You grow up not trusting anything anyone does or says. So what you have to do is to find other ways to prove whether or not they're trustworthy, right? So maybe that's why the majority of the world doesn't stop and think about this and doesn't actually stop it. A long time ago, when we were going to, reprimand our children for doing something that they shouldn't do, and we would ask them to tell us the story of what happened, and if we thought it was a lie, we'd tell them what? Look me in the eye as you say it. Why would we ask them that? We would ask them that because if you're looking at them in the eye, you're going to pick up on a lie. The eyes are going to tell you they're lying or they're telling the truth. But most of the time, let's face it, that they're lying. So, so the only reason why someone would ever ask somebody to look them in the eye, the only true reason should be to see whether or not they're telling the truth. If you look someone in the eye, you can train yourself to be able to spot how their eyes look when they lie and how they look when they tell the truth. And also, like I said, just how they look in general, the expression, the baseline expression in general. If they're really evil, it's like that takes over their whole brain process, their whole thought process. And every second they breathe, they're always thinking about me, I, how can I do this? What am I going to do next to hurt somebody? And that shows up in the eyes. Even if they're not actively doing something or actively saying something, that'll show up in the eyes. And if you get that wrong and you don't know what to look for, then that's the worst thing you can ever do, because then you're falsely assuming that someone innocent, has done something wrong. So I'm not saying, do this if you don't know how to do it. There's a science to it. People have to be trained, or they have to have a long time of at least, testing their accuracy in some way. If you're not going to be actually physically trained by somebody to do this, then you need to test your theory and make sure that you're not making mistakes, that you can back up your assumption. So like say, if I assume this person's lying, what proof do I have that they're lying? What proof do I have that they're not lying? See what I'm saying? Because if you just automatically assume you're right, then that's just as bad. So I do want to, I want to really stress that, this isn't something that people just get overnight, okay? It's easy, it's common sense, it should be common sense once you know what to look for. But if you don't yet know what to look for, then, you know, you need to somehow test whether or not you're accurate with it, okay? And test it a lot, not just once, test it again and again and again, okay? So, yeah, back to, sorry, off on a tangent there, back to this literal, you know, basically cunt, okay? She really shouldn't have children. She really shouldn't. I'm sorry. Actually, a cunt is much better than she is. A cunt's too good for her. She really should not have children. Because imagine that evil person teaching her children that that's okay to do and it's okay to be like that. And some of her children will probably stand up and be somebody, hopefully, and say, no, this isn't right. I just instinctively know that it isn't right because it makes me feel bad when I do it. I feel remorse, whatever. But some of their other children may not feel remorse. And she's creating more monsters, more copies of herself, essentially, every time she, or at least she risks that every time she's allowed to keep another child. This woman is dangerous in ways that you don't know what all the people around her, especially impressionable children. I wouldn't trust her even with a fucking cat. And you know, a cat's got claws and fangs and everything to defend itself. Well, I wouldn't trust her even with a cat. Anything living should not live with her. Plain as put.